everyone please rise for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call roll, please.
Sturritt?
Here.
Clark?
Here.
Cooper?
Here.
Wolock?
Here.
Audie?
Here.
Conan? And Ballard are.
Okay, everyone has a motion or the agenda in front of them tonight. Are there any additions, deletions, or is there a motion at this time?
I'll move to accept the agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Clark, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Wolock. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Any citizen comment on non-agenda items? Any citizen comment? Hearing none, we have no presentations tonight. Everyone has their administrative reports. Is there anyone that would like to give a liaison or commissioner report at this time?
I'll go first, Madam President.
Please.
You guys all have the F&V report. There was only one call out during this thing, and I believe it was sometimes when they cycle at the same time it trips and they have to come out. It happens on occasion and they just have to reset the parameters. There's no problems at the plant right now. We're still working on getting quotes for the pump that failed, one of the three. You only need one at a time. And they just got it back, so now they're gonna send it to other places or at least be able to get specs. So they're still working on that. As of current, I asked Chuck today if there was any problems. He did come out Saturday about 3 in the morning. With the thaw and the rain that we did have, it hit the parameters, the range, and he did have to come out, and it hovered right around the 270 or 240, whatever that number is that they set it at. There was no other problems, and the flow's not back down. So even during this thaw, it's been a slow thaw for the most part. The flows have been good. Reactor 2 is up and running, so all three are up and running now.
Perfect.
The 2 is down for maintenance. That's all I had.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Sherritt? Hearing none, are there any other liaison reports at this time?
I'm going to give a quick one. Last week was my clerk Master Academy class that council so graciously allowed me to go to. And the class itself was very informative, like it is, like all these classes are. But I did want to tell council that as I completed the Clerks Institute last year, Harry had asked me numerous times if that meant that I was certified, and at that point it did not. It completed my education portion of my certification, not my experience, plus I had to join the IIMC, which is an International Municipal Clerks Association thing, for 2 years, which I was going to pay for myself. Unfortunately, it's very costly, so I hadn't done it. But our Michigan Clerks Association, which is who sponsors all these classes, informed us that they as a board have now passed a ruling that if you completed the Clerks Institute, which the township clerk and I had done last year, that we are now certified Michigan municipal clerks. So I will be getting a certificate and a plaque to state that. So it's a big deal. So that was very exciting.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Yeah. So, and what that does for the council, I mean, for the village and for the township both, since we're both certified, you know, it's an educational thing. It's, you know, I mean, we learn something new every time we go. It's stuff that we bring back and we try to implement here at this level. The Michigan clerks only require that you recertify every 3 years, which just means you go to class. And, you know, they have a lot of free education days. You know, I'd like to continue the master, which is in this year's budget, the master for the next, because that's another 2-year program after this. And, but, you know, besides that, you know, I think it's a really good program because the international did not require you to do any further education, you know, and I think that's important. So,
Good job.
thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Hearing none, are there any other liaison reports at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Everyone has it. It's the approval of the regular council meeting minutes of March 10th, 2014, payment of bills, list of depositories, investment policy, proposed administrative fees, employee sick comp time payout, and the special event application. Is there anything anyone would like to pull, or is there a motion at this time?
Just so council knows, the administration fees were set at what was discussed in the budget.
If there's nothing to be pulled, Madam President, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Stewart, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. We have no old business. We're moving on to new business. Capital charges for water and sewer. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none, this is the village clerk, water and sewer commissioners agenda items. Who would like to go first?
Well, it's the same resolution that is passed every year. As discussed in the budget meetings, there is a CPI increase of 1.5, and the dwarf, which is the bond that we have on sewer, is up 3%, which is required by the bond. So the new proposed resolutions that I gave you along with last year, so you could compare, are in the packet. So really all you're doing is adopting those resolutions.
And we just have to read the one sentence?
Because you adopt both of them with that.
Okay. Madam President, I make a motion to adopt the attached resolutions approving the new water and sewer rates.
Motion by Mr. Stewart, is there a second?
I'll support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor say, oh,
No.
do we need a roll call?
Roll.
Sorry.
Okay, Stirrup,
Yes.
Audie,
Yes.
Bailey is not here, Clark,
Yeah.
Cooper,
Yes.
Wolock,
Oh.
Motion passes. Next is the set proposed millage rates. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none, village treasurer, this is your agenda item.
And there again, at every budget, we set the proposed budget for the upcoming year to support the budget as we have it presented. So, format's the same, everything is.
it's in
Do
there.
we need to read the wastewater disposal facility because it's 0? Do we need to say that out loud or just
No.
leave that off?
That, yeah, I'll even start scratching that off, it's just,
No, that's fine, I just don't want to
no, you don't have
Mess.
to read it, that's long gone.
make it messy. Okay. Reset?
Mm-hmm.
I make a motion to accept the recommendation by Treasurer Adair to, can't even speak, to propose the 2014 tax millage rate at the maximum allowable levy as permanently reduced by MCL 211.34D and authorized under Truth in Taxation MCL .21124E with full understanding that these requested tax levy rates will be reduced if necessary to comply with the state constitutional Article 9, Section 31, MXL Sections 211.24E and 211.34. The following rates shall be proposed. General Fund, 9.4674 mils. Municipal Street Fund, 3.7868 mils, for a total proposed millage rate of 13.2542 mils.
Motion by Mr. Stewart, is there a second?
Can we correct the last
Let me-
section?
Let me get a second first.
Okay,
Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Audi. I'm sorry. go
that's
ahead.
okay. Where it says MXL, it should be MCL.
Is that an okay change by you?
Yeah,
I
Is that
Sorry.
okay by you,
apologize.
Mr. Audi?
That is
Yes.
a,
I
that's
kind
a
of like the
typo.
Excel better, but.
Well, that's, that was my typo.
Okay, is there any discussion? Is this roll call too?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it?
Yes.
Do I have to-
Yes.
Yeah, if you look on Joe's sheet, she has it right. Wolock,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Audie,
Yes.
Stirrup,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes. Motion passes. Next agenda item are budget amendments. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Village treasurer, this is your agenda item.
We have it on two separate forms in here. You did one, I did one. It's actually in the investment policy, so you didn't have to make it in separate. What's the depository?
What? Budget amendments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's all right.
The ABCs.
They're both C on there, so it's
yeah.
okay.
Okay. This is for the current budget year that we are about to walk out of. And the majority of the budget amendments that are in here are either directly or indirectly attributed to the unusual winter storm conditions for this year. We have increases in supplies, utilities, in overtime wages, for local streets. We also had a,
Snow and ice.
well, that's part of, that's
That's
the,
the additional wages.
Right.
yeah. But we had a, under budget for health insurance, so that was an increase. But other than that, the, everything else is, like I said, directly or indirectly related to what you couldn't foresee when you set the budgets last year. So it changed the it altered the budget from $16,004.69 to $6,099.50, which is a sufficient balance for that fund, as it's a subsidiary fund of municipal, therefore it's not gonna run out of money. So the balance is fine. They made a change of $9,905.19. So you need a motion to approve it?
We have to do
How
each
how
one,
do you
right?
want them to do it? If we're not gonna have them do it individually, you're gonna have to tell them how to say the motion.
What did you do, put it all in each line item?
Yeah, that's what we always do.
Okay, if you read, the budget itself, it's formatted so that you don't really have to do all of that. So if you do a motion to amend the current fiscal year budget as follows: local streets increased expenditures by $9,905.19 as listed, bringing the fund balance from $16,004.69 to $6,099.50.
Can we say so moved?
So moved.
Okay,
So moved by
Okay.
Audie?
Audi can have it.
Mr. Audi and seconded by
I'll take a second.
Mr. Sturrett.
All right, so you're gonna say to increase expenditures to local
That says
street
right here.
budget.
By $9,905.
Yeah, that's here.
Yep.
All right.
It's sort of big arrow right at the bottom.
Yeah. I like to have it written up. Go ahead, on that.
Okay,
Do you need a roll on that, Joan, or no?
Yes.
probably.
Audie,
Yes.
Sturrett,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes,
Bullock.
Yes.
and we need the same thing for the other fund.
Yep, yeah, the same thing, the other fund is the general street fund for the current budget year, 13-14 budget year. And there again, a lot of them are attributed to the unusual weather conditions. One is a mistake that I made when setting the budget last year. We did the revenue for CDBG in revenues, but we didn't do the offset for CDBG in expenses. So we had and it balances each other out. It's not an increase or a decrease, it just offsets one. So that increased the expenses line by $5,283. We have increases that are due to legal expenses that we've incurred this year. And the first three items that we have listed on there are directly related to that. There again, weather conditions, we've had increase on utilities, Semco. We had a miscellaneous expense in the DPW repair of a garage door panel. And then again, I had to switch the general insurance thing where I had a misallocation of splits. Payroll tax increases due to the overtime in snow and ice, which is the weather conditions. And then the CDBG fund that I just explained to you. So do you want me to read the
Yes,
motion
please.
again and somebody take it? Okay. Motion to amend the current fiscal year budget as follows. The general fund increased expenditures by $24,279.00, bringing the adjusted prior year funds from $347,443.12 to $323,164.12.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Clark, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Sturt. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call again.
Clark,
Yes.
Sturt,
Yes.
Bullock,
Yes.
Audie,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes. Motion passes.
Well, that's good to know because that was a lot
That
of
works
work
a lot
that I
smoother.
didn't need to.
Yeah.
Next one is the 2014-2015 wage allocations. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none. Village Clerk, this is your agenda item.
Well, this is just to set my wage and Joe's wage as discussed in the budget workshops.
Everyone has the motions in front of them tonight. Is there any discussion, or if someone would like to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to establish compensation for the clerk of the Village of Armada in the amount of $23,787 annually effective April 1st, 2014.
Motion by Mr. Sturt. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? Do we have to roll on these?
Yes.
Okay, roll call.
Sturt,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Bullock,
Yes.
Audie.
Yes.
Motion passes. There's another one also for the treasurer.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
I'll move to resolve to establish compensation for the treasurer of Village of Armada in the amount of $34,305 annually, effective April 1, 2014.
Motion by Mr. Wallach. Is there a second?
Support it.
Support by Mr. Sturt. Any other discussion? And roll call again, please.
Bullock,
Yes.
Sturt,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Audie.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to the next agenda item, it is the public hearing to adopt fiscal year 2014-2015 budget. Is there a motion to open the public hearing at 7:18?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Clark to open the meeting. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Sturt. The public hearing is now open for the public to address the council on anything on the proposed budget. Any public comments? Any public comments? The time is now 7:18 and a half. We'll say 7:19. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Audie. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. I think we need a roll call on one of them. Is it to close it or open it?
To close it.
Okay, roll call please.
Sorry. Audie,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Sturt,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Bullock.
Yes.
Motion has passed. The public hearing is now closed. Everyone has all their budgets that we've discussed over our last 5 budget meetings. We've all discussed them at length in an addendum. I think everything is in the agenda and the budgets that everyone has in front of them. Is there any discussion at this time? Hearing no other discussion, there is an agenda, or I can't talk to you. A motion there. So please read the motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2014-2015 budgets for the following funds as presented. The projected surplus at year end for general fund will be $272,683.10. For the municipal street fund, $257,808. $808, yes. Major street fund, $14,617 even. Local street fund, $39,420.92. Water fund, $88,709.55. Sewer fund, $218,798.93.
Is there a motion to support his motion?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? Roll please.
Stir,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Wolock,
Yes.
Audi.
Yes.
Mr. Ballard, would you like to vote on that, the budget?
I will say.
Okay, moving on. DPW employee is the next agenda item. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none. Village clerk, this is your agenda item.
It's mine and the DPW supervisors, but
He's
he's
not
not
here.
here to do it. We've had a resignation from the DPW. Paul gave his resignation. I would just like council's approval to allow Ed to advertise, and he will be doing the interviews and bringing a recommendation back to council.
Make a motion to allow the DPW supervisor to advertise for the position of full-time DPW laborer to conduct interviews and to bring a recommendation back to the village council at a later date.
Motion by Mr. Sturt. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion?
I would just like to say that Paul's a great guy, he's been a great employee, and I wish him luck.
Good luck, Paul. Thank you. Anything else anyone would like to say? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Next agenda item is Spencer Street drainage problems. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none. Street Administrator Ballard, this is your agenda item. I did make you a copy of a letter we received at 4:30 in the evening
Okay,
tonight.
thank you.
Yep.
And I was just reading it over. But where we stand with this is I had the DPW, had go out and take some pictures while it was raining out there and showed the flooding areas. I do have those available. I'm gonna send those to Michelle. He sent me an email, so I'm gonna send them to Michelle, so we'll have something for the next meeting. I also talked with Jeff Borski, and I do need to take a look at the prints yet, which I have to get a hold of Ed and see if he has a set of as-built prints. Okay, and that's where we stand.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Ballard? Hearing none. We will go ahead and move on to upcoming agenda items. Is there anything anyone would like to add for an upcoming agenda item?
I'm gonna have a FOIA policy at some point. I'm hoping to have it at the next meeting, but it's being reviewed by Jeff right now.
Okay. Anything else anyone would like to add?
Do you want your Spencer Street brought back?
Yes, I'd like to have that brought back, thank you.
Anything else? Hearing none, moving on. Are there any other citizen comments? Any citizen comments? Hearing none. Any council comments? Any council comments? Hearing none. Any community events? Any community events? Hearing none. We have no closed session tonight. The time is now 7:24. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wallach. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.